Have you ever considered downsizing as a way to simplify your life? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing a few ways that we've been able to downsize and some of the benefits we've seen as a result. Hey everyone, this is Kyle from Dire News and Money at 30, and on this channel we look at personal finance from a millennial perspective, including videos like this one exploring major money topics. When most people think about downsizing, they probably think of empty nesters preparing to retire, minimalists living in tiny homes, or that recent Matt Damon movie. The truth is that downsizing can be done in a number of different ways and to various extents. The type of downsizing I want to talk about today involves limiting your financial obligations in order to prioritize your passions. This is something that my wife and I have strived to do over the past few years and have seen the benefits firsthand. With that, I wanted to share a few examples of how you can begin downsizing your life, as well as some of the things that may be possible as a result of your efforts. In many cases, the first step towards downsizing is going through all of your possessions and getting rid of unneeded items. There are a few good reasons to part with items you no longer need. For one, it can allow you to declutter your current home. Furthermore, paring down your possessions can enable you to eventually move to a smaller space. But before we get ahead of ourselves, a great way to start downsizing is to look through your various closets and storage spaces in search of items you don't use anymore. This could include old or broken electronics, sporting goods, collectibles, or clothing. While some of the items might be worth selling or donating, others can simply be thrown away. Understandably, trashing items you once spent good money on can be upsetting at first, but it's important to realize when you have no actual use for something anymore. Keep in mind that the process of downsizing your possessions doesn't have to be done in one fell swoop. In fact, my wife and I have gotten into the habit of going through our stuff once or twice a year and making cuts. As a result, we find ourselves buying fewer items, which is the ultimate goal. Now that you've limited yourself in the amount of stuff that you have, you can start thinking about different relocation options. While you might assume that downsizing via relocation simply means moving to a smaller space, it can also mean moving to a cheaper place. For example, in 2015, my wife and I moved from Glendale, California to Springfield, Missouri. Although our apartments are approximately the same size, our Springfield home costs less than half the amount of rent. In our case, we were paying a hefty premium to live in LA, and our changing priorities meant that was no longer a wise use of our money. Of course, there are also benefits to moving to a smaller home, even if it is in the same area. This could include saving money on rent or on your mortgage, as well as on utilities and even furnishings. Additionally, if you can, I'd recommend limiting your commute when looking to relocate, as this can have a major effect on your stress level and your happiness. Now that we've covered a couple of the steps involved in the process of downsizing, I want to talk about a couple of the benefits, including the ability to pursue what's important to you. One of the reasons we ended up moving to Springfield was because I had recently decided to start as a freelance writer. While I was enjoying my new career, the aforementioned cost of Los Angeles living was making our finances tight. By downsizing our expenses and moving to somewhere cheaper, I was able to continue doing a job I enjoy without worrying about money. Similarly, my wife has also recently become a freelancer. This transition would have been far more stressful and perhaps not even possible if we hadn't gone through the downsizing process ahead of time. Another one of the passions that we've been able to explore thanks to our downsized lives is traveling. As I mentioned, being freelancers, my wife and I don't make a ton of money. However, since we've made efforts to limit our expenses, we are able to take full advantage of what money we do make. On top of living debt-free, maintaining an emergency fund, and saving for our futures, we've also been able to enjoy various trips overseas and around the country. Some have even taken downsizing and traveling to a new level, becoming so-called digital nomads. These freelancers and entrepreneurs who can work from anywhere have adopted a lifestyle where they might spend a few months in one city before heading to a new one. Admittedly, as fun as this sounds, it's a bit too much for us. However, the idea of spending a month or two overseas while having a place to come home to is certainly appealing. And it's possible because of our downsizing efforts, including our low rent. I hope this video at least gets you started thinking about the possibilities of downsizing, but for a more in-depth look at the process and why I'd recommend it, I'll have a link to my full article on Dire News in the description box down below. By the way, if you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment, and be sure to subscribe because we have new videos every week. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time here on Money at 30.